time. As you all know, Zell is an upskilling institute. We offer courses in the field of accounting and finance. Right now, we are offering ACCA, Diploma IFRS, CFA, CMA, and US CPA. I'm sure some of you are students with Zell right now. I can see some of my students, some of my familiar names. I can see Murtuza, I can see Carol, I can see a lot of my students. So on behalf of Zell, I welcome you all. I am Satyamed Nandedkar. I am a chartered accountant, a company secretary, and an ACCA. I am a faculty with Zell since the last 3.5 years now, or a little more. And right now, I lead the line for academics at Zell Education. I have had a decade-long career in different domains, internal audit, investment banking, private equity, till I settled upon, realizing that, okay, this field of training, field of coaching is something that academics is something that is really my calling. And excuse me, now I am into this activity full time. So when we start our discussion around, what does a day in the life of an ACCA look like? I would first want to ask you, do you know what an ACCA is? Do you know the full form of that? You can type it out in the chat section here. ACCA is, of course, the name of the institute which grants you this qualification, the Association of Chartered Certified Accountants. It is a UK-based body. And before we dive deep into today's seminar, before we try and understand how does a typical day look like, let us understand a little about the ACCA qualification. Now that you are onto this path, it's important for you to know what is it that you are getting into. What is it, what the course is all about. So we'll have a brief course overview. We'll understand what it is all about. And then, of course, we'll come to the main discussion. So let me share my screen with you. I hope you can see. Just 1 second. Okay. So yeah. Association of Chartered Certified Accountants. As I said, I wanted to give you a brief overview on what this course is all about. So ACCA is one of the largest and fastest growing financial qualifications in the world, not just India. So it is a qualification that grants you expertise in the field of financial reporting, in the field of auditing, in the field of taxation. While these are the more traditional fields, it also offers you a lot of scope in management consulting, in business advisory, and multiple profiles across sectors. Now, because this is truly a global qualification in the sense that the acceptance is there not just in the United Kingdom, which houses this body, but the acceptance is in over 180 plus countries right now. Of course, you can work in Mumbai today for a UK-based client or for a Singapore-based client. You can work in the Maldives, for example, or Canada, if that is where you want to head in that direction. It is a very, very flexible course, unlike a lot of other courses, because I have done those courses. I know here you can write one paper at a time. In certain exams, like your knowledge level exams, you can do it at your own convenience, basically. So these are on-demand exams. And for the skill and professional level, which is equivalent to the intermediate and the final level, these exams can be completed there are 4 slots in a year. The exams are conducted quarterly. If you want to write one paper at a time, feel free. If you want to write more than one paper at a time, you can feel free to do that as well. You could write 2, 3, 4, as not more than 4 actually. 4 is the maximum you can do. You can start your exams, you can start your ACCA journey immediately after your 10th standard. So once you have qualified your 10th, you have done your matriculation, there is something known as the FIA, that is the Foundations in Accountancy route. That route enables you to start your ACCA journey immediately after your 10th standard. You do 3 papers: business technology, financial accounting, management accounting, and then you graduate, you move on to the next level, which is the skill level. Now, the good thing about these exams is that because you are going to work in a world that is completely driven by systems and computers, and basically everything is online, these exams are also conducted online. These are computer-based exams. And right now, of course, globally, the number of students, the number of candidates who are enrolling themselves into this course is only growing by leaps and bounds. To tell you, I mean, I have seen personally the number of enrollments that are happening, the number of people who are interested in, this particular qualification is only increasing. In terms of course eligibility, you need to have cleared your 10th standard. You need to have a minimum of 65% in, that is the basic score you need in your 12th grade in accountancy and English. And of course, non-commerce students are also eligible. If you have done your bachelor's in science, you are still very much eligible to go for this course. The number of papers that you have to appear might differ in the case, that you have certain exemptions coming your way. But, we have our experts who will guide you at every stage to determine where exactly do you fit in, what kind of exemptions you can get, and how you can accelerate your journey towards getting the qualification. Now, when I talk of, the curriculum, there are 3 levels there. The first one is the knowledge level, which is like the foundation level or the base level. It has 3 subjects, business and technology, management accounting, and financial accounting. There are 3 papers there. They are multiple choice questions based paper. The exam is an on-demand computer-based exam. And these, when I say the word on demand, you can take these exams at any point of time you feel prepared. Even the first paper at skill level, which is corporate and business law, is also an on-demand exam, which has multiple choice questions. And again, you can take it whenever you feel you are ready. Guys, any specific questions that you have, of course, I will be answering all of those questions, but I'll keep it open for, a little later in the discussion when we come to it. Okay. Talking about the skill level, which is the intermediate level, it consists of, again, 6 papers: law, performance management, taxation, financial reporting, auditing and assurance, and financial management. These are, again, computer-based exams, but they are tested quarterly. The exams are continued and held every quarter. And these are, again, a mix of multiple choice questions and case study based questions that, you will end up answering in these exams. 100 marks paper, no negative marking. The pass mark is 50 in these. In all the papers, there's no negative marking, but you need 50 marks to pass. These papers, F5 to F9, except for audit, have 60 marks of MCQs and 40 marks descriptive. Audit and assurance, on the other hand, has 30 marks MCQ. The remaining paper is a descriptive paper where you have to type out the answer. At the professional level, which is like the final level in your ACCA curriculum, you have 2 compulsory papers: the SBL, which is strategic business leader, and SBR, which is strategic business reporting. This is a continuation of financial reporting that you have done at the earlier stage. These subjects are compulsory. This is, this paper SBL is like a mini MBA. It is a live case study. The entire paper contains just 1 case study. Nobody expects you to mug up the answers. Nobody expects you to learn things by heart. All they expect you is a situation is given to you. And if you were a professional in real life, how would you tackle that situation? You are expected to write that. So just imagine how interesting it is. You don't have to learn. You don't have to learn 1,000 pages to get 50 marks. No, all you need is conceptual understanding. That, okay, if I were a manager, if I were the person handling this situation, what is it that I would do? And you have to frame your answer accordingly. So this is a very different format of conducting exams as compared to what you have seen in the Indian context. After that, you have to select 2 option papers out of 4: advanced financial management, advanced performance management, advanced taxation, advanced audit and assurance. Now, out of these 4, you have to pick 2. And that depends on the kind of career that you want to make for yourself. If you want to become the final word in auditing and assurance, of course, you will pick up AAA. If you want to do, the likes of private equity, investment banking, other finance advisory, AFM would be the right paper for you. So once students enroll with us, we give them that kind of guidance as well, that what paper should they choose depending upon what career path they want to take for themselves. Now, I have already told you the exam pattern. What you have to understand is that the pass mark is 50 in every paper. Of course, the pass percentage drops a little as we move along, because not every candidate has that kind of tenacity and rigor when it comes to preparation, but the pass rates as compared to Indian CA are higher. At the same time, what you have to keep in mind is that the opportunities for you are not limited only to India or only to, a select sector. The opportunities are far and wide. They are there in every field related to F&A, that is finance and accounts, that you can think of. Now, the knowledge level exams, as I told you, are on demand. You feel like, okay, I want to write my paper tomorrow, just go book your center, write it. If it's a skill and professional level exam, it happens once every quarter. So the months in which these exams are conducted are March, June, September, and December. That's the calendar. That's what it looks like. Now, talking about, as I mentioned at an earlier point in the discussion, there are certain, if you have started after your 10th, you have to write all the 13 papers. If you start a little closer to completing your graduation, once you have your degree in place, you can be exempted from writing certain papers, because the assumption is that in your degree course, you had these subjects, you have gained the right kind of understanding of these subjects, and you are ready to move on to the next level. So once you enroll with us, we will guide you on basis your qualification, basis what your understanding is, basis the degree and other documents that you have, what kind of possible exemptions could you be eligible for, and our registration team will help you in getting the right kind of exemptions basis the qualification that you have. If you are an Indian chartered accountant, you get an exemption for the first 9 papers. Okay. Now, a question that often pops up in your mind is, sir, if there are CAs, what kind of jobs do we get? Of course, the jobs that you get are similar, but more as compared to your traditional chartered accountants. Why? Because these chartered accountants get an authority to sign audit reports and balance sheets only in India, but an ACCA gets the same right globally. Not, of course, there are certain conditions that you have to fulfill. Say, for example, you want to practice in a particular country, you might need to clear the ethics module in that particular geography to be able to sign the document. But a small formality here and there, and you will be able to get the attest rights, the signing of balance sheet and audit report rights in several countries, not India, because right now only Indian chartered accountants are eligible, but across the globe, you will definitely have opportunities. The recognition for non-audit profiles is there everywhere, not just India. So as I said, from Great Britain to Maldives and from Malaysia to Singapore to Canada, you will get recognition, and the right kind of jobs will come your way at each of these places. Now, the Indian CNA, because when I did it back in the day, of course, we had 2 groups, and each group had 4 papers, and the passing criteria was very difficult, for lack of a better word, in the sense that you need 40 marks per paper, and then you need 15 aggregate, and a whole lot of restrictions were imposed there, and you had to write all papers together. You couldn't have a situation where you are just writing one paper at a time. ACCA, on the other hand, is very, very flexible that way. ACCA allows you to write one paper at a time if that is what suits you the best, and you can take it from there. Now, the salary packages, because I know that is one question that everyone's going to definitely ask, because why are we putting in so much effort? Because we want jobs, we want the money that comes with it. So when you start that particular, when you finish the qualification and when you get those entry level jobs, the salaries could range anywhere between 4 to 8 lakhs. If you have finished even say 11 papers out of 13, you do get good packages to start off with. 4 to 8 is generally the trend we look at. In metro cities, of course, the packages are more. The question that might come my way is, sir, who hires us? So I have a counter who does not hire you. Everyone hires ACCAs because the finance and account function, however small you are or however large your operations might be, that is a non-negotiable function. So right from the big fours, the other tier 2 CA firms, the tier 1 CA firms, your industry, so basically, even in the manufacturing sector, you need ACCAs, you need ACCAs in the service domain, you need ACCAs for taxation, advisory, financial reporting. I mean, the list is long, the list is endless. Okay. So that takes care of how much average starting salary in India after you become an ACCA. If you have finished your skill level papers, of course, the starting packages would be slightly lower, but you will get there in due course. Now, I will tell you what kind of, so we'll come to that part, don't worry. Talking about, it's not that as if, only Indian companies are willing to hire you. Companies across the globe are interested in hiring ACCAs right now. There could not be a better time. I'll tell you why. A couple of years ago, maybe a decade ago, IT was being outsourced to India because either labor is cheap and Indians don't shirk any kind of hard work. Right now, the taxation, financial reporting, and advisory work is getting outsourced to India, wherein there could be companies sitting in the United Kingdom or sitting in Australia, and they need someone to properly monitor the financial reporting, help them with taxation. So that work is outsourced to the big fours in India. So, or even the next level CA firms. So opportunities for you are practically limitless right now. I don't think there could be a better time to be in the field of finance and accounts as compared to, where we stand today. Moving on to, what kind of support does Zell provide in terms of ACCA? We provide training for all levels, the knowledge, skill, and professional level. We have live training for students. I have some of my former students who have studied with me in a live batch. We also have recorded lectures. So there is a light product, wherein students get access to recorded lectures. And you also get the facility to book a doubt solving session with the subject expert and get your doubts resolved, get a detailed feedback on your mocks. Our training happens on the weekdays and on the weekends. We do provide placement assistance to students. And as you know, we are an approved Platinum Learning Partner. Of course, Platinum Learning Partner is something that we always say with a great matter of pride. And all the faculties at Zell who mentor students are ACCA qualified folks. So people like me, there are others also in the team who are all ACCA qualified faculties. So they know what the exam journey is like, and they will be the ones guiding you once you enroll with Zell. Our pass rates have consistently been better than industry standards. The one who made my slide, he wrote 80% pass rates, but I personally boast of a higher pass rate in my batches, and the other faculties also have similar numbers to put out in front of you. We do provide a lot of continuous student testing, a lot of mocks, a lot of homework, feedback, all of that happens internally. We have a state-of-the-art learning management system, which is basically an online portal where all the resources that you need to in your ACCA journey, right from recorded lectures, right from notes, quizzes, pre-learning material, everything is available for you that you log in and the world is literally at your feet. And our faculties and our teams, they provide a one-on-one mentorship, as in they will give you the right kind of guidance. Today, as we speak, we have students, of course, definitely right from Jammu to, I have students in Chennai and Trivandrum, and I have students right from Siliguri to Gujarat. So it essentially covers the length and breadth of the country. And of course, there are students who are joining in from Qatar, Saudi Arabia, United Kingdom, Australia. So our global reach has only grown in the last couple of years. Our content is something that we take a lot of pride in. It's our content that we have curated in-house for students. And we do boast of a very good placement record in terms of where our students have gotten placed. It could be the likes of the big fours, the consulting firms, industry. So our student base is practically working in all of these reputed organizations. And these are jobs that they have secured through the help of our placement team. The fee structure is something, once you enroll with us, our subject matter experts will guide you through that. They will also guide you on how the registration of the process has to be done. So experts are there to, kind of guide you through every single activity in the process. Our lectures happen, as I said, on the weekends, on the weekday, and we also have self-paced pre-recorded lectures, which you can join and view at your convenience. We did discuss about the kind of roles that will come your way once you have qualified as an ACCA. And of course, there are certain graduation related degrees that, we help you secure. The Oxford Brookes University ACCA with OBU degree, which is equivalent to a bachelor's degree in India and a master's from the University of London. So these help you get those brownie points, when you make further applications. My slide also talks about the kind of placements that our students have gotten over the years. As you can see, we have all the consulting names, the big fours, and a lot of mutual fund broking houses, consulting firms, all out there just for you. Now, ये सब तो देख लिया. We have had a detailed overview for 20 minutes on what is ACCA and how does Zell support you in your pursuit of ACCA. Now let's get to the real part for which we have all gathered today. That is discussion on what does a day in the life of an ACCA look like? What does your day involve once you qualify? Now, if we are under the impression that all our hard work ends the day we have qualified, I think we need to reassess the situation. Your hard work academically ends on the day you have qualified. It ends on that day. Once you have cleared your 13 papers, you put a nice little post on LinkedIn, people congratulate you, you celebrate. That's done. But what after that? What comes after you have qualified and you now want to enter the professional world? I personally believe that, when I started off my journey, had I received some kind of a guidance, I could have done a better job. I could have been at a better place in, overall the speed and everything in my career. But back in the day, I qualified in 2013. We did not have access to all these resources. So now that we have all these platforms, I think we should make the best possible use of this platform to understand what is it that we can do and how do we maximize where we are and try and grow to the next level. Now, every day when you enter your office, of course, when somebody says, oh, day in the life of an ACCA, first of all, you have to qualify as an ACCA and you have to step out of your house. You cannot sit in your home and, the way you study at home right now, watching the lectures, you might not be able to do that at home. You will have to step out of your house. And first of all, take a train if you are in Mumbai, reach your workplace. That is how your day actually starts. And then, of course, that's just the beginning. There's a lot that comes after that. I'm sure all of you have seen those memes online which says ki, yaar, ye kaam to ek mail mein ho jata. Why did you have to call a meeting for 1 hour and do so much pretense? That's what people say. Yaar, I could have finished it in one mail of 2 lines. Do this, don't do that. But jokes apart, these meetings, when you start your professional journey, when you start working as a professional, these will be the hallmark of your day. You won't believe this webinar was supposed to start at 6 a.m. Till 5:55, I was in a meeting, after which I said, okay, now I need 5 minutes. I cannot have another meeting. I need to focus on the webinar that I am going to conduct. Of course, I have spent 10 years in the industry, so I do more meetings, I delegate more work. But when, you have that entry-level position, your day is filled with meetings. Your day, there's this joke in the consulting world that they say the real work starts after 5 p.m. when all the meetings are done. Because these meetings will tell you what to do, but the doing part of it starts after those discussions have happened. Now, one one habit, one practice that you should definitely get into is making notes when you are in these meetings. When I say making notes, whatever is the point of discussion, whatever is being discussed, whatever you think is key to that discussion, you have to make copious notes. And there's one habit that I have gotten into, and this is something which my seniors inculcated in me back then. You have 10 meetings in a day, and there is a very, very high probability that you will miss out on whatever it is that was discussed. You will miss out on the finer details. So, like a typewriter, the one thing you have to do is you have to keep on typing everything, or you have to make notes in your notebook with a pen. That okay, these are some of the points that were discussed. And the next practice is whatever has been discussed, you have to write it down, put it in the form of minutes of the meeting, key points that you think are important, and you send it to the other party to confirm. Sometimes what might happen is you might not have understood something, the other person might not have understood something, excuse me. So what you must do in that situation is you must ensure that you and the other person are on the same page. Doing meetings is not enough. Making a note of what was discussed in the meeting and then passing on your understanding to everyone who was present is quite crucial. So please make sure that whenever you start working, you make a note of your understanding. Whenever you start working, you ensure that the understanding is conveyed to the other party and both the participants are on the same page so that there are no confusions later. You won't believe there have been times when I have absolutely been not inclined to attend the meeting. I have felt sleepy during a meeting, and then it has come to bite me later. So best thing is probably splash some water across your face before you go out for having any discussion. And one thing that I have learned over time is that try to keep these meetings brief. Don't try and extend them for 2 hours. If it can be finished in 15 minutes, wrap it up in 15 minutes and move on to the next discussion. Meetings, though, you have noted down what is the expectation of the client. You have worked on, whatever it is that was allotted to you. But that is just one part of it. You are in a profession, you will be getting into a profession that works very heavily on timelines. Now, what do I mean by that? Say if you are in the field of audit, there is a specific due date by which the audit report has to be signed, and it has to be submitted and uploaded on the portal, on the government Ministry of Corporate Affairs portal. You have to upload that. Now, if the date for that is notified as 30th of September, then you have to do it by 30th of September. That kind of excuse, sir, I was not feeling well, I had other work to do, is not something which is going to work with the government. So make sure that whenever you become a professional or you are on your way to do that, meeting deadlines is something that is literally non-negotiable. That deadline could be a deadline imposed by a government authority, say the income tax department, the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, some RBI or something, or these could be your internal submission deadlines also. Now, I'm sure that when you studied financial reporting, when you were in your process of, studying some of the basic subjects, one of the things they must have highlighted to you, what makes that information good information? What are the key characteristics of good information? One of them is timeliness. If that information is communicated to the recipient after the deadline, it practically holds no value for him. So your completeness, your relevance is important, but communicating that at the right time is even more important. So make sure that as and when you work as a professional, in my day, I literally make a note of what has to be submitted at what time and which mail has to go out at what time, so that I do not miss out on any specific client expectations that they had in terms of timelines. So as I said, it could be a statutory deadline. Statutory means imposed by a government body, or it could be an internal completion deadline. Your day-to-day activity will be centered around this. It will be arranged around this, that everything else later, a deadline has to come in first. And after you know what your deadline is, after you have made meetings, there are lots of internal team discussions. I have a team of 30 people, 30 individuals that works with me right now. And one of them remarked, why do I always see you in a discussion with someone or the other? I said, but that's literally my job, right? Guiding people on what they have to do, what takes priority first, what takes priority later. Like, when you study, say, for example, if you are studying financial management, you know that the chapter on investment appraisal is very important. So you keep that as a top priority. A topic like, say, ratios is simple and it doesn't take a lot of time. Also, it might not be tested for those many marks in the exam. You put it for studies later. So even as a student, you are prioritizing your work. As a working professional, the onus on you is greater. You are expected to have internal meetings wherein you will set the priorities very clear for the team, that what has to come first, what has to come in later, what is the order. Now, I have worked with EY and PwC and a private equity fund as well. I have realized that nothing is more important than presentation. Presentation, as in, I'm not saying a PowerPoint presentation, the way your file looks, the way your mails look, all of that is very important. Your company's brand is built on these smaller things also. Rather, these smaller aspects are what help you in creating that homogenized brand, that specific brand for yourself. So you need to communicate to the new joinees in your team that this is how we portray ourselves, this is how we make our reports, this is the font that we use. My team has been told very specifically, unless your font is Times New Roman 11, don't even bring it to me. So these discussions could be in the form of trainings also, wherein a senior will train the juniors in terms of how the work has to be done. These discussions could also be brainstorming on something exam specific, something work specific, something that the client needs to have, and you need to brainstorm on how you are going out and going to deliver that. So your day will be involved in these discussions. I right now have a habit of a morning meeting and an evening internal team meeting, so that I get to know what is it that was allotted to them at the beginning of the day and what is it that they have delivered by the time the day comes to an end. Now, this is one word, meeting all client deliverables, which you will, come across ever so often. And I like how these words have, suddenly become so important in the English language. Deliverable. Now, what do you think a deliverable is? So, if I tell you that you have 30 questions, 30 MCQs for homework today, you have to submit the answers to me. That answer sheet is your deliverable. That is what you are expected to submit with your by the end of day. So when you work with a client, say your assignment is that to conduct an audit, then the expectation will be that the audit report, the signed balance sheet, all of that has to be delivered. This goes back to the timeliness part, as in these deliverables come with a certain deadline, which you as professionals are expected to adhere to. And of course, before something is submitted to the client, it has to have a robust internal review process that is required. Whatever the junior has done has to be reviewed by the partners, has to be reviewed by the managers before it can even go to the next level, which is ultimately submitting it to the client. There's a lot of quality control, quality check that happens in these internal reviews. Believe me, most big entities, be it consulting, be it audit, be it manufacturing, have a team that is dedicated only for conducting quality checks. Quality checks of whatever the team is producing on a daily basis, so that any errors, the chances of those are minimized to begin with. So, I mean, I remember I used to be extremely scared of any review with my team lead, because I was sure that some error will happen and I will get a good scolding for that. So, as scary as it sounds, that is something you have to do as a part of your day-to-day activities. Wherever you go, it cannot what should I say, escape your reality. Review with the team head, submission to the client, submission on time. These are some of the aspects, that you have to take care of. Now, let's, of course, there's another part to it, that is the fun part, that is the office parties. Most of the times, people get so tired on a constant basis that nobody has the energy to go to these office parties, but yeah, people do. And those are fun. Apart from being fun, those are a very good avenue to network with people, to connect with individuals from other teams, to have those discussions wherein you get to know what is happening in the world, what is happening in their part of the office. And those are good, those are the best places where you can network with individuals, you can grow your network, you can deepen your reach, so that tomorrow when you are looking for some help in your work, or you're looking out for another job, you still have a list of people you can connect with, a list of people you can talk to, so that these finer aspects, these finer nuances can be taken care of. Now, that said and done, your entire day, which starts with entering the office at 10, could sometimes go until 6:30. Sometimes when it's the peak review period, it could go even later in the day. Of course, there are times when you have to stay up till late in the office, but that has its own fun. There's a lot of interesting bonding that happens in the team, and you get to learn a lot in times of pressure. So do not construe that a moment of pressure at work is something that you should be scared about. In fact, these are the moments which will help you the most in your journey as a professional, and they will shape you in the right way. So that being said and done, it is a very important part of your day-to-day activity. And trust me when I say this, a lot of my time, of course, goes in dealing with tough situations at work, but then there's a lot of learning also that has come my way. Perfect. So yeah, that's how my day looks like as an ACCA. And I'm sure, because now I've shifted more to training and education, there are different other aspects in my day right now, but more or less nobody escapes the meetings, nobody escapes the office parties. It's very much a part of what you are doing on a day-to-day basis. Now, I do have some questions here. Somebody has asked me, what is the average stipend in India? Now, average stipend depends upon the number of papers that you have cleared. If you have cleared just 2 or 3 papers, you might get something between 6 to 8 or 10,000. And as the number of papers that you have cleared increases, the stipend also increases. Excuse me, it might go all the way up to say 20 or a 25K also. So it depends on the level that you have achieved in your ACCA qualification. Someone has asked me, what about 9/13? I'm assuming 9 papers exemption and the remaining 4 papers you have to write. I think getting exemptions and working on those exemptions is a good idea. That's a simplified route into the ACCA profession. What I would also like to add, however, is the fact that just because you have gotten 9 exemptions should not make you laid back or lax in your approach. You have to acquire the knowledge of those 9 papers. You don't have to write the exam, but make sure that you have acquired the knowledge of those 9 papers so that you can write the remaining 4 professional papers really well. So it is a good option provided you do it seriously. Now, next question is, what about CPA versus ACCA? You can do it. So CPA is for just one moment. CPA is for United States. ACCA is UK and a whole lot of other countries. So depending on where it is that you exactly want to work, you can choose which qualification to specifically go for. A professional level exam schedule. These professional level exams are conducted once every 3 months in the months of March, June, September, and December. The schedule is known to the students in advance. Like, for example, the first Monday is always the AAA paper. The Tuesday exam could be ATX exam. Wednesday could be APM. So that is also defined well in advance so that students can, prepare accordingly. Okay. Now, I am BCom Accounts and Finance cleared from IGNOU. Will I be eligible for exemption? You will have to understand that for this, you will have to submit your documents to us and then we can evaluate and give you a proper answer. I wouldn't want to commit unless, I have the complete picture available in front of me. I'm asking about multinational companies in India after a skill level. What would be the salary? Multinational companies post skill level could give you a 20-25K kind of a starter salary to begin with. I am a CA inter student and I want to do ACCA. So how I claim exemption and what is the fee? Again, as I told you, our subject experts at Zell will get in touch with you, and you can provide whatever qualification documents you have, and they can help you decide what kind of exemptions you will get, what is the number of exemptions you will get, and what is the fee that you will have to pay in order to claim these exemptions. Any internship needed for ACCA? So for ACCA, there's a 3-year professional experience training requirement. So you have to work with some of the approved employers in order to get that 3 years of work experience. Your CA articleship also counts. The good part is that once you get that 3 years of PER under your belt, you can call yourself a member of ACCA after fulfilling certain other conditions. Otherwise, you can continue working as an affiliate. There is no difference in the salary that an affiliate and a member get. How much would a part qualified ACCA? So I have already answered that question. 20-25K as a starting salary, 30K also at times, depending upon which papers you have cleared and where exactly do you stand in the overall scheme of things. After completion of ACCA, of course, the salary could be 5 to 9 lakhs as a starting, starting salary. If you have cleared 9 exams, of course, you can get a job in Big Fours. There are placement drives that we conduct ever so often. If you have enrolled with Zell, somebody from the team can guide you on what kind of openings are there at any given point of time. And definitely you can apply for those. That's something which we always encourage our students to do. Okay. Now, should we start working during our skill or after skill? See, my point is after you have finished a couple of papers in skill, say 3 to 4 papers, you can start working, but don't start working at the beginning because that's not ideal. That's not advisable. Other than tax syllabus difference between ACCA and Indian CA, of course, your subjects like SBL, Strategic Business Leader, are not there in CA. Subjects like Advanced Performance Management are not there in CA. It's a very different kind of setup, basically, that you are looking at. The papers are more of case study papers at the skill level, at the professional level, as compared to the rote learning type of exams, that are conducted in India. How about if someone wants to work on the academic field, just like by joining Zell, how many papers need to be cleared, or is there any certain criteria? So I am writing down my email address here, Parth. I think I have spoken to you. I don't know why do I get a feeling that I have spoken to you on LinkedIn. So I'm giving you my email ID. Please send your CV to me and we can evaluate if we have the right kind of role for your skill set. So I have sent you my mail ID. Fee structure for each paper, Karthik, it's of course the exam fees have to be paid in pounds. Depending on which paper you're writing, it's 123 pounds, 146 pounds. You have to pay that at the time of booking your exam. Then salary package in UK, of course, whatever is the equivalent of, 5 to 9 lakhs in pounds term, maybe slightly more. That is what you get in UK after you have cleared your ACCA. Now, preferred to work after 9 papers or after becoming an affiliate. After you have cleared 9 papers, you could become a trainee somewhere. And once you have finished your 9 papers and you have the exception and you have the necessary knowledge and knowledge base, you could work full time by becoming like a full-time employee somewhere. Someone has asked me during my ACCA journey, what paper would you say was tough? No, because I was already a CA when I became and when I wrote my ACCA exams, I did not find any paper tough per se, but I had to do a lot of effort for ATX because I was in the habit of doing Indian tax and my mind was, prepped in a certain way. So I had to unlearn my CA knowledge to do this. An affiliate can expect a lot of interesting job opportunities, a good pay after, he has completed all the 13 papers. Now, there's one question which says the ethics module is, of course, it is one of the compulsory modules that you have to complete. It is a self-paced module which you have to complete before you can apply for your membership. Ideally, we expect the students to do it along with their professional papers because understanding of ethics and, other professional competencies is essential before you become a member. So that is something we always encourage our students to do in terms of, prep. I am a CA myself, so I told you what kind of a difference I see between the two. Someone has asked me, how do I improve my communication skills and English before joining the course? See, the best way to do this is reading. Read more and more and you will know more and more. You will be able to deliver more and more. So reading and writing is something, that you must always focus on. Of course, you can land a job in Big Four after you have cleared your 9 exams. US CPA versus ACCA in Canada, along with MBA in finance from a current university. Why not? You can always try and it adds value to your CV. Are there any good opportunities after completing skill level? Yes, as I have already mentioned, there are a lot of good opportunities. In order to be more competent in the world, apart from, your marks, you need good communication skills. You need the ability to network with people. You need to be able to put forth your point across without insulting or, without belittling the other person. So that is a skill quite necessary in your resume. Of course, what I would also want is Excel skills, basic Microsoft Office skills. All of these are necessary. Prabhas has asked me, will artificial intelligence be able to take over accounting and finance? No. You will not be defeated by artificial intelligence. You will be defeated by an individual who knows how to handle artificial intelligence. So make your choices very, very wisely. So Prakhar, I would recommend that after you have completed 7 or 8 papers, that is when, you should start working. You should start to gain your professional experience. In terms of long-term benefits, one of the biggest ones is that you do get to work outside India. You get exposure to different geographies, different work cultures. CAs, on the other hand, can work right now only in India and the Middle East in some places, but the work for ACCAs is coming in from all different countries, all different avenues. There is no procedure to convert articleship as PER. Articleship counts as PVR. So our experts can help you in understanding how those exemptions can be claimed. Which paper would you advise for someone to clear first at skill level so he can get a job ASAP? The easiest skill paper, which is financial reporting. This is the one that you should do first. Except Big Fours, what are some companies that you would recommend for a person with 8 paper cleared? You could work at consulting firms, finance advisory places, CFO advisory places, and That is what, will give you a lot of good exposure and good work opportunities. Is ACCA a diploma? It's not a diploma per se. I'll be completing BCom by April and I'm planning to do ACCA and start giving exams from June. So when should I join Zell? Ideally, you can join Zell right now. We can train you on some of the easier knowledge level papers to begin with, and then you can start your graduation. That's not a problem. Why can ACCAs not sign in India? In India, the signing authority is given by the Companies Act and the Income Tax Act. In Companies Act, Section 139, in Income Tax Act, Section 44AB. These sections say that in order to sign an audit report or a balance sheet, you have to be a chartered accountant as per the definition given in ICAI Act. And ACCAs are covered there, which is why ACCAs are not allowed to sign in India, but it's okay. It doesn't really take away from anything. So don't worry about it. So for performance objectives, Komal, once you join, once you enroll with us, our team will help you in understanding, how that part also actually works. I have explained about the ethics module. Sanil, right now, we have to evaluate whether any opportunities to Canada are coming to us. And then, of course, we can guide you better. Of course, after completing ACCA, if you want to go abroad, the opportunities are, practically limitless at that particular point. You have to pay fees. So after clearing all the exams and once you become an affiliate, you have to pay annual affiliate fees to kind of, be continued to be enrolled as an affiliate with the ACCA. That fee is some 108 pounds, something like that. I don't know the exact number. I don't remember actually. Yes, you can study for ACCA along with preparation for CS. That's not a problem. First paper that you should write has to be FR. It's good if you take BCom with ACCA, even BAF and all is good. Don't take BBA, take BCom or BAF in Mumbai. Along with AFM, a good subject in Indian market would be AAA. Paper fee is not included in Zell fee. Yes, not included. Again, for the IGNOU based exemptions, you will have to send us your documents, and I think then we can help you slightly better. ACCA is not exactly a diploma course. It's not like that. So there are no colleges which provide this course. It is a course it is a gateway to a qualification which is offered by the ACCA UK. So that is the qualification granting authority. How to prepare for his exam, that is something which is a long discussion which changes paper to paper. Once the student enrolls with us, we'll guide in detail on how you are expected to prepare for each of the exams that you want to write. I have explained which colleges are providing this course. Then placement support, which we can expect. So we do keep on sending a list of different job openings that are there, and we'll help you with that also. So don't worry on that count. Is doing only ACCA enough? No, doing only ACCA is also more than enough. You don't necessarily have to add anything else to your ACCA qualification. No, it is not necessary to get your OBU degree. It's not compulsory. If you want, you can get. I have explained the salary that you get abroad after completing your ACCA. I have put that out already. Fee of each paper is not included in Zell. No, paper fees are not included in Zell. yeah, you can kind of assume that this is the salary package that you would be getting. FR. Again, ACCA total fees doing the entire course could cost you 3.5 lakhs in total. That includes the amount that you pay to Zell and your exam fees. But of course, the exact number in that is something, which we can help you with once you enroll with the team. Between USCA, USCP or ACCA, both equally good is how I would like to frame it. Yes, ACCA is a membership of an institute, and by becoming a member of that institute, you can audit, you can give tax advisory and all of that. It is, let's not call it a diploma or something. So Habib, you can reach out to the placements team, you can reach out to me, you can reach out to the student mentor, and they will help you. Overall opportunities for ACCAs are amazing. If you want to go outside, of course, Singapore, Malaysia, UK, all of them are very good. Even Canada has become like one of the bigger markets for ACCAs. OBU is a part-time qualification, which it's a degree course, but it is administered online. Very good. If you want to go for it, you should, in a way, try to go for it as much as you can. See, knowing a foreign language is always, it helps you as compared to your peers. So try to, if you are able to do a foreign language, why not? See, comparing ACCA and USCMA is not the right kind of comparison, because one is an accounting, taxation, audit related course. The other is a management accounting course. Okay. OBU degree, yeah, it's a qualification. So it adds to your CV. It helps you get your qualification quicker. My name, guys, for all of you is Satyamed Nandedkar. If you want to get in touch with me, you can, of course, search for Satyamed Nandedkar on LinkedIn and you will have your answer. Perfect. So that was all the time that we had for today. It was really great chatting with all of you. I hope there was something for you to take away from this discussion. At any point of time, if you just feel free to reach out to me on LinkedIn. Do let me know any feedback that you have. And I'm waiting for you to enroll at Zell. And I'm waiting to have you in one of my batches sometime whenever you join Zell. So all the best for your ACCA journey. And it was a pleasure interacting with you today. Thank you. So as I said, our experts will be out there to help you, to give you the right kind of advice. Make sure that you reach out to us. You can drop a message in the chat box on the live session link on YouTube. The numbers, I have told you, you can reach out to me on LinkedIn. You can check our Zell Education page, and that the kind of data that you want will be